Welcome to the Meredith Show. As you know, every week it is our mission to inspire. But today we're starting off with someone who we think is not only fascinating, but thrilling. Joining us today is Jen Queen. And Jen, you are a medium. And for people at home who don't know what that is, could you explain it?
Sure. A medium is someone who communicates with disincarnate spirits, someone who has already passed over.
Okay. And when you say that, we all wonder, where does this come from? And you say a lot of it started as a child, but you were even skeptical about it.
Yes, I was very skeptical. I started seeing things around the age of 7, which they frightened me, but my mother told me they were my imagination, so I believed her. And I started putting all of that away. By the age of, say, 19, I was very scientifically minded. Didn't think that anything like that was possible.
In fact, you're so rational. You say you wanted to be an engineer at one point.
A mechanical engineer.
You don't hear many ladies say that. I do have one friend who is one. So I think that's awesome in itself. But it was actually through some tragedy that you learned that this was not just something that your mother could let go. It's something that was really real to you. Tell me about that.
Became very personal. Around the age of 26, I lost a niece, tragically. And the evening that she died, after some hours had passed, I saw her in my room. Now, she had died about 8 hours earlier, so I knew that wasn't possible. And she was with my grandmother, who had died a week previous. So, again, I thought it was my imagination. But fast forward about 10 years, and my nephew died tragically as well. And when he died, by then I had had many more experiences that I could not explain, other than it was coming from something outside of myself.
And I mean, you are really serious about being skeptical. And when I say that, you encourage people to be skeptical because, let's face it, a lot of people at home think that people who are mediums or psychics are all fruits.
Yes, yes.
And what do you think?
I think they are too, a lot of them.
Which you don't hear every day.
No. I come from a point of view that I got to where I am because there was no other explanation for me that was possible. It was, information comes to me that is completely outside of just my knowing, or by guessing, or, you know, I get names, I get what people look like, you know, and there is no other possible explanation other than it's an energy that is outside myself and outside the person that I'm reading for.
All right. And so how does it work now that you really feel dedicated to helping people? And that's a lot of what we focus in on this show. I mean, how do you feel that you best help people? And we'll give some examples.
I think it gives them some peace and comfort knowing that their loved ones are still alive, still involved in their lives, that they're still around, that life goes on. And at one time I didn't really believe that. And now there's so much evidence to the contrary that I absolutely believe life goes on.
This is from Nicole. The message said, I got set up for a Skype session with Jen, and an hour before our session, she sent me a text message to confirm our time, get my Skype name, and tell me to think of anyone I wanted to hear from. During our Skype session, she revealed secrets to me that I thought died with my loved one. In 1 hour, she took 6 years of boulders off my shoulders. I swear the air I breathed became lighter after our session. What happened there?
It was a boyfriend of hers that had died tragically. And the last thing she had said to him was, I'll talk to you tomorrow. She was in a hurry. So there was a lot of guilt. But I gave her his name, what he looked like, what he did, a lot of other pieces of evidence, you know.
But the idea is that there is no other explanation. How could you know somebody's name or anything? But how did that?
And I didn't even know her at the time.
And it was, okay, again, I get a little stunned. All right. The next person was about Cole. Cole's mother said, I am absolutely amazed by your ability. You have truly saved my life. Just knowing Cole is okay has made a world of difference in my life. I cannot imagine losing a child and not being able to communicate somehow. How do I know you're real? You asked me if Cole had the second toe bigger than his big toe, and yes, it was, and he hated his feet. You knew he passed accidentally before it was even ruled. You heard music as soon as he came to you, and he was all about music. You told me once, when I was really down, cheer up, Mamacita. Only Cole would say that. You immediately told me he was asking about Ginny, and that was his best friend. How does that information come to you?
It comes in different ways. Sometimes I hear it. Every spirit is different. Sometimes I see them in their entirety, what they look like. Sometimes I hear things. Sometimes I see a flashing neon sign. It's all very subtle, but
it's real.
It's real.
I mean, yes. Obviously, I've never met anybody like yourself, and I've gone to palm readers, and there's just a lot of bad rap out there.
Yes.
Do you find your work difficult, rewarding?
Very rewarding. I wouldn't do anything else with my life.
Did you
ridicule, skepticism, all of it included. So I mean, it's worth it.
So you think that those who say this is crazy and I don't believe you, that's fine?
That's fine, yeah. They just haven't had an experience with someone like me.
Well, if you have somebody at home and you think you can help them, or they may want to reach out to you and they have unfinished business, if you will. I guess you get a lot of that?
Oh, yes, yes.
How does it work?
All they have to do is call me. They can call, they can go to my website, they can email me, they can contact me any way they want. They can ask questions. I'd be happy to set up private readings.
Yeah, and you also do Skype, from what I understand. We talked about that a little bit with one of your earlier persons. Is there one way that's better than the other, or it doesn't matter?
No, it doesn't matter for me. As long as I'm connecting with the person's energy, I don't need to see them. I only need to hear their voice.
So, wow.
Crazy, right?
No, I think we talk about fascinating people you need to know. Jen, you are definitely that person, and I encourage you to reach out if you'd like to learn more. And give her a call, as you said, or log on to her website for more. Jen, what a pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for having me on your show.